If your materials on your portfolio look like this, your email inbox will look like this. Hiring studios will move on with other candidates. Now, if your materials look like this, you will get interviews. In this video, we will learn how pro artists take a material like this and make it look like this. So today we're going to look at the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC, The Order of Giants, and we're going to take a close look at the material work from the artists. So let's start with the work of George Maclay, who worked on the Via Giulia Palazzo. So we have amazing. So this is the second video on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but this one is on the DLC. And the reason why I'm spending so much time on this game, it's because it's of very high artistic quality. So it's really worth investigating, studying, doing the breakdown so that we can learn many things that will hopefully make you more competitive on the job market. So we have some amazing screenshots, and I believe really the first thing that we can notice is the attention to details, the realism, and also the authenticity, because this is based on a real world location, right? So you can go and gather references, pictures of very high resolution, very high quality. The goal is not necessarily to replicate reality one for one, but it is to bring the same attention to the smallest details. And this is really what transpires in this work. So again, amazing renders right here. Very good shots, very good camera angles and composition, very good choice. So really what pops out outside of the foliage and all the green is really the attention to details, the minute details that the textures are bringing. So let's look at this one here, and this is fascinating. We'll have a GIF showing us each step. So basically this is what was used in the intro. And, arguably, this is of very high quality. Okay, we're not saying that this is low quality. So the plaster material here already is displaying quite a bit of details, right? There is a lot of texture here. There are variations, bumps. It is already very good. But then if we look at how the geometry is integrated, because obviously you have one part of the wall on the top with the plaster, you have the other part on the bottom part, you have the sill here, and then you have the window itself. And while everything is done correctly and beautifully, I might say, it feels there's something off, right? It shows that there is something missing. And I'm on purpose, I'm leaving this on the other side of the screen so that you can see the difference. And we will break it down step by step. The first thing to notice are those decals. I will break them down. From this angle, this is what we see as decals meant to integrate the asset, basically to blend it. I don't know if blend is really the correct word, because technically, it's not technically blending that much, but you know what I mean. It's integrating, like you have this hard edge here. So you see you have this sharp shape here that is just attached on the wall. But when you add those geodecals, it makes it seem like it's been there for a while, and there has been some weathering, some wear and tear, and it has created those details on the plaster itself. So that is number one. Number two, I think, well, we can quickly mention there's a variation of color, which is great. Let's just compare side to side. There is a bit more going on with this layer. It's not just a color variation, right? There is more going on. There is more small details that are not those exactly that you can see here, right? So it is another material that is blending, because you can see, I don't know if you can, maybe you can tell here, it is blending very, very well. It's similar-ish to the plaster. I mean, it is meant to be plaster also, but it is different. There is a lot going on in this red section, so we will take it step by step. So already there's this decal, which is meant to integrate the two separate assets together. Then I would say furthermore, this is also kind of part of it to make it blend even better. There is this decal that we can see on the bottom part, which is essentially doing the same thing as the side of the window, but there's a bit more to it. It is helping, of course, in the, as you can see, super straight line is basically most of the time it's a no-go in CGI, right? In what we call realistic style, it doesn't need to be absolutely realistic. It can be slightly stylized, but the realism is what we call the believability, right? Like if it's cut straight like this, I mean, probably the day that it was built, it was clean like that, and it would look like that. But this is essentially what we don't do in video games. We don't want clean stuff. Or sometimes we do, right? Like I might think of sci-fi, for instance, or a very high-level corporate business, top floor kind of thing, executive offices. Then it serves a purpose. It tells a story in itself, that it's completely clean. There is absolutely nothing left to the weathering and all that. But this is a statement. Basically, I would say by default in video games, things needs to be dirty. It needs to be used. It needs to show wear and tear. So that is what your materials should do. I would say 95% of the times. And by the way, I mentioned sci-fi. This is a whole topic in itself that we're not really going to cover today because, no, sci-fi is not always clean. Absolutely not. Now, let's hear it from the channel's partner, NordVPN. We have a great deal for you. 75% off and 3 months extra. Also with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Let's look at some of the features. So, uninterrupted streaming, next-generation encryption, strict no-log policy. Very easy to set up, literally only a few clicks and you'll be done. Alerts about leaked credentials. 1 account, 10 devices. You'll have enough to connect everything in your household. It also comes with an anti-malware tool directly integrated called Threat Protection Pro. So that's a big bonus. Now let's break down this offer. Those prices are in Canadian dollars, but you will see the prices in your country's currency and the deal will be the same. This is what you should look for right here. So remember that you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can try it out with peace of mind. NordVPN is a trusted company. And as you can see, you have from 73% to 75%. Of course, you have different plans. You can choose the one that suits your need. So those prices are for the 2-year plans. If we look at the 1-year plans, it's also very good. You save from 60 to 69%, which is a lot. So you see the prices. Still very reasonable, very good offer, and 3 extra months. And finally, let's look at the regular price. this is a great offer. You'll be able to browse the internet freely with peace of mind. You will have access to region locked content and you will save a lot of money. So don't wait, get the deal. So this is killing those straight edge lines right there. But also it adds a lot. It adds basically, this is the construction material, right? It's not really the grout, but it's the material that is used in real life to hold stuff together, right? So having it here and having it like so visible and so much of it shows that, you know, there's some decay. And there is, whether it's with erosion, it's with just time, these things chip and they fall apart, and then you can see the layer under it, right? Now moving on the top, it's well, actually here you see there's like a little bit more that serves the integration of the window asset. But on the plaster itself, if we compare it side to side, well, you have more going on, right? You have like this is layering materials, blending materials with vertex painting, and then you have additional details, additional wear and tear. You have a little bit more going on, and that's pretty much it from this one to this one. And here we have, well, even more. And you see here, like here you have much more intense level here, right? Let's just cut this part, not cut, but you know, put the emphasis on this part. It might be using parallax occlusion mapping. It might use some displacement. It looks real, right? It looks like heavy, not heavy, but heavier destruction took place, right? And then you see that building, like let's use this part here, building on this, well, it goes further here. You have much more stuff going on. You have another one, right? You have other, those are all decals. And you have also much more grime and dirt, which is also repeated here and here. See, the grout that we mentioned earlier here is completely covered by the dirt. So it's again layering material. And not to forget also the bottom part. Let me just come back here. So you have all of this, which is, you know, from the rain that is accumulating and dripping and more slowly dripping over time. This is basically it's not erosion, it's basically the water staining the stone material itself, right? So you have that going on too. So if we go from this clean version to already this one, which is very, very good already, all the way to this one, well, guys, how long does it take to create an asset like this? Okay, we're talking about a AAA, AA studio, it's AAA standard of scope of project and of quality. Just a very, very brief word on AAA. Yes, AAA used to mean highest quality. It is not the case, as you know very well. It hasn't been the case for the past 10, 15 years in the industry. So this is not just my opinion, it's an observable fact. And I do work in a AAA studio on one of the largest production, and I am absolutely not knocking my team and my coworkers and the company I work for. It's just the case, right? We have seen it over and over. AAA games not delivering, both on the gameplay, on the tech side, and on the art side also. So now AAA is not synonymous with high quality. AAA is, the definition is large budget, large team, large development cycle. That's what it is, okay? So I don't really like to use AA, AAA, whatever. I use high quality, okay? And when I see extremely high quality, I pointed out, and whether they were 500 or 50 people, it doesn't change anything. All right. But when you see a name as recognizable as Indiana Jones, you see those studios, Bethesda, Lucasfilm, it, and Machine Games, by the way, because this is the developer, uh, it's associated with AAA, right? And I don't like to use the term AAA that much, but it also refers to, well, the big studios that everybody knows, right? The big games, the big studios. So that's it. If you are working on your portfolio, and of course you're looking at the greatest examples, right? And this artist might have spent I don't know, 3 months to 6 months to maybe 9 months, maybe more. It's impossible to say unless the artist is giving us the answer, because every production is different, and nobody can tell except the people who work there. Did the work Was the work done full time continuously, or was it worked on like for a few weeks and then they waited on dependencies and then they worked on something else, right? So from the exterior, it's absolutely impossible to say. But if you are home and you're working on your portfolio and you are looking at these, and you should, right? You should take inspiration from these, from such games. If you go ahead and you put yourself, I don't know, part-time, full-time, you got to pay the bills, so probably you have already a job, but you're very serious about your development and your improvement as an artist. You're looking at months of work, right? A full environment, and we're not even talking about a level of gameplay. We're talking about like a big building. I mean, to reach a great level of quality, this is months of work at the latest, right? Depending on your experience, it might vary, of course, but if you are on the verge of getting your first job, or you have been working either as a freelance or for small studios, and you're like really trying to get to the next level, you might look at these things and have the ambition to work on large projects, which is great. But if you have like one piece like that, and of course one modular piece is not enough, but you know what I mean, even if you had a small wall, just a small facade of a building, and you put that level of detail and that care and that level of quality, you're going to get a call back. You're going to get the interview. Okay, there's nowhere around it. It's very easy to say, when we look at the work of an experienced artist, and say, well, just do that and you're in. Well, the point is, try to reach the same level of quality or close enough, right? And it's not impossible. Okay, if you're not there, well, you need to train, you need to learn. There might be some techniques that you're not familiar with, and we're here to discuss. And after that, it's up to you to put in the work. And this can get people discouraged. I know for a fact, I know some students, they are aiming for a very large project, and they are full of motivation, full of passion, but then they end up not completing it, or worse than that, they never reach the level of polish, right? Like, they cannot take, like, let's say you cut just one part like that, right? It's a random example, and you show this level of quality with the leaks, with some custom decal work, decals to integrate those assets, a different type. You build yourself an atlas of custom decals, and you use a wall, a few windows, and that's it. You don't need to spend months. You just need to show quality. That's really my message with this video. Materials are, I mean, it's so powerful for your portfolio to show to show your skills, to show your level of care and attention to details. It's gonna go a long way. Showing a whole environment shows that you're disciplined, that you organize your time well, and that you did not quit in the middle, right? Which honestly is a big risk. Uh, but working with highest level of quality of materials, of textures and materials, and leveraging all the tips and tricks that you can in the engine, that's really the most important thing. And I am told that, and again, everything depends, right? Different productions, different needs, different studios, different cultures, but quality and talent and tech understanding and knowledge of the techniques themselves is gonna be highly regarded, right? When they are selecting people to meet in the interview, and I really like here that we can see a better view at this little detail. Attention to detail and quality will always come first. So large environments won't impress any hiring managers, leads, or directors. If it's large and of very high quality, well, then usually it comes from an experience, from a senior, from someone who has been around and knows how to manage their time. So that's like a whole different story, right? If you are interested in learning how to apply the techniques that we're covering while analyzing those games, I have created a course in which I show everything step by step. There are no time lapse, nothing is done off screen. I take the time to explain what we do and why we do it. I show best practices. And we are creating a small environment from A to Z. I'm showing every single step of how it's done on a professional production. I can answer any questions you might have on multiple platforms. So if you are interested, there is a link in the description and there's a discount available with the code provided. And here we have, I really like GIFs, so thank you to the artist for providing GIFs. I like side-to-side comparison, but GIFs are so cool also. So you see the level of quality of each material, and then you blend them together. So, I mean, it's pure math. It's going to be awesome, right? One awesome thing mixed and blended with another awesome thing, well, it's going to be very awesome. That's all there is to it. So this one is really nice too. It's clean and then dirty. And this is what you have here. And the other one was this one, right? Let me just get back to this one. So we have the GIF with the steps. So let's go back. This is the first step: base materials and geodecals for integrating elements. So there are some geodecals already. We can see them, right? This is not modeling. This is not from the asset. The asset is just stuck on the wall. And you see that there is something. It's very smart. It's very, I would say, subtle when you are from a distance. But then if you close up, you're like, aha, okay. Oh, I see it. It feels like the geometry was installed and then it created a reaction, right, on the wall. It did this over time. There is that. So it's not just hung on the wall simply like that. So that's the first pass. Second pass, geodecal strip. See, so it's outlined here, right? So we can see it better. That's the one. That's great. Thank you to the artist for making this breakdown. Then you have the vertex painted material variations, right? And already it adds a lot. Even with that, we're, I would say, light years away from the first one, right? But then we continue and we'll get to the last part, which is decals added to finalize. And we can appreciate all the work that went into it, right? There are so many steps. And again, we haven't witnessed the creation of the material, which most likely are done in Substance Designer. So there's that too, right? It's custom, well detailed, high quality materials, actually, all of those. And then this is how they are layered on together, how everything is put together in the environment with, in this case, a lot of decals. And here we have something, well, something I personally appreciate a lot. It's the kit. We can see the modular kit here, and we can see that it's been applied, and it's also a GIF. So it's been applied to the whole place. So base Palladio kit with geo decals to blend elements and vertex paint applied. So we are already at the second step on this image here. And then the next one, boom, final result, right? So there is some decorative elements here, the frescoes that are added. There are many things here with some either, well, that's displacement or, yeah, it's most likely displacement of some sort, and a lot of vertex paint and decals added. And you see we can appreciate decals at the right spot so that your modular kit, and this is the base modular kit, right? You can see that this is the same as this, but some decals are applied differently. Same here, right? So it can be reused and it won't look the same. So we can conclude that this production used a lot of decals to leverage the blending, right? So there's material blending with vertex painting, but there are a lot of decals to come and help patch everything together. So the work of the next artist, Pavel Kosteshki, has been featured on a previous video on the channel. And I go into detail as to how to properly texture large surfaces. And I think this is one of the best breakdown, step by step, along with all the tips. So I won't cover it here, but I have included it on the board. So you'll be able to check this out. But here's the link again for the video. We are now going to look at the work of Vytautas Katarsis, which has an amazing post here with really fun, educative, extremely interesting visuals, which shows the kit that he used, modular kit, and how it's used, how it can be mixed and matched. And it's like a very high level of quality, right, on the textures. So since I'm a big fan, I'm quickly sharing this. So please take the time to go and take a look and learn from this amazing modular building kit, along with lots of possibilities of what to do with it. And again, the same level of high quality for the textures. And this is what we are going to focus on. It's the materials. So let's take again a look with a lot of weathering, a lot of layering of the materials, along with the heavy use of decals. So it's across the production, right? It was not just the previous artist that we looked into. It's the whole art team. And now we're going to look into, I'm going to start with this one. So those are GIFs. If I can select it, there we go. So we start with the first one right here. So this, it goes quite quickly actually. Okay, base textures. So you see that the base textures, it's already very high quality, right? The blending of the material is already there. To be completely honest, if you have this kind of quality on your portfolio, well, you should either be employed or it's just a matter of time. Okay, that's like the level to reach. I would say in your early career, in the first few years, if you get that, I mean, you won't have any problems, right? Then we have geodecals, which are so useful and so realistic looking, right? You can see them. You can see them here. It helps integrate these assets so well. You can see it on the sides also, right? On both sides. It is just phenomenal. It's basically everywhere, right? That you need, and it's stronger in this case on the top. It's more visible also, right? With the light, with how the light behaves. So it's a good spot to make them, to put them, right? And then the other one, look how, like from the first to the second one, and there are also more going on right here, right? But from the second to the third one, like this is yet another level, right? The blending, the decal work. Let's just go back and forth. I mean, this is just phenomenal. This is really fantastic. And see the integration of a whole new material, blending together. Same here, even if the colors are closer. This shows the effect of sun over time, the effect of rain, the effect of, well, of time itself, right? There's just the usage, the age of the materials, but all the leaking, it is adding so much. So once more, I really like to control the time of the GIF. I should do that all the time. It's really, really much better. And see also the control that it gives the artist with the vertex paint. I mean, you can make those pieces, right? Which this is the most basic piece of the kit, right? It's just a basic wall. You can paint over it in the environment, and it's going to be different everywhere. And then what is stamp decals is your traditional decals, standalone decals, right? That you can add in the engine, and probably with some kind of color tint, color control, so that it blends, and you can adapt it in the environment. And you can see also it leaks right from here all the way to the window, to the glass material. So there is much more than just like high quality material, because let's be fair, also in the last 10 years, Megascans has been around and free for a long time. It's not anymore, but there are a lot of free samples. But what I mean is also PBR compliant tools, such as Substance Painter. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy to master, but it's easy to make something that looks good from a distance, right? I'm sure if there are students here that recently, or not recently, but started in the world of 3D, and they showed their first schoolwork to their friends and family, I'm sure some people were like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing," and they were right. I mean, from an external point of view, it like you went from knowing nothing to doing something that looks like concrete. It looked like wood. It looked like, right? But then to get a job, to be a professional, you need much more than this. And basically, I feel, and this is not to disrespect the artist's work, I'm again going to say that this first pass is of very high quality, but I feel like a hardworking student could get there, right? You go and you get your Megascans material, which are photo scans, then you do a good job with decals. Honestly, this I haven't seen students pull a trick like this, and this is where you understand that this artist is a veteran, a senior professional. But you know what I mean, like the basic, like this base pass, I feel some hardworking students can get there. Then we are at another level, which again, some talented juniors can get there by themselves, right? With the right library, a good eye, and some time and trial and error, feedback from a more experienced artists, that's great. But like the final result, like with all of it together, it's just like, wow, it is so realistic and it feels so real, right? I'm gonna show this one here because this is in context, right? It's going to be the building in the center, and let's just start with the base pass. Oh, actually, it's across. Okay, so it's all that building. So the base pass again looks good. There is something off here, right? It's way too clean compared to the rest here, but the rest is, this is mainly because it's bathed in sun, right? It's basked in the sunlight. So this is why it's a bit different. On this side, like, it's way too clean. Now, okay, we have some geo decals added here and there. It's definitely helping. Oh, then we have vertex painting. So everything is kind of more in context. Everything fits together. And then that adds everything, right? The stamp decals. Because if you pay attention, let's just pay attention to this pipe here, right? It looks like it's just floating next to the building. But then this is not painting shadows, by the way, right? But it kind of feels in this angle that it has no shadows, not producing any shadows, and then it is. But it wouldn't make sense because the light, as we can see, the direction going this way. So the shadows, if anything, would be on the other side. But it's not really directly affected by the light, right? The shadow, as you see, is here. But the level of grime behind it, ironically, makes it, I would say it makes it stand out. It's not true, right? This makes it stand out of the building. And it's kind of, okay, it's kind of not out of place, but it's kind of popping out. This makes it feel like it belongs, right? Feels like it's really there. It's been there, and it makes sense that it's there on an old building. And also, that's a very important point. If you look at the material of the, maybe it's copper, maybe it's another type of metal, but it's, it's rusty. It's also like there's the greenish, I wouldn't say moldy, but like the water, like having leaks, or just having water over it. So the age of this material kind of betrays its logical placement here. It kind of doesn't work, right? And those are the kind of things that an expert, a senior artist, or lead art director, people in power of giving you a job or not, or even the steps below, people who will make the decision if you will attend an interview or not, right? So if you show something like that, that's the one thing they will see, right? Maybe your friends will tell you, "Oh my God, your building's amazing. That's so cool." But this detail will just kill it. But if you go this extra mile, if you show this knowledge, this understanding of how materials, how assets, I would say, how real world objects make sense together, this is really the candidates that they are calling for interviews. So that would be really like upgrading and like really going to the next level, right? So the combined look, it's basically the same, right? So it has that stamp decals pass, and also with an additional effect of not decay but material decay, right? The plaster here, like even with the blending, it's fine, but it looks like way too clean. And here with everything added, this is how reality looks, right? This is how those buildings of this age would look. So this is just fantastic, and it helps us understand so much stuff, right? The decal, the work with decals. So I really like that we see the modular kit with details like that. It's kind of, I wouldn't say rare, but it's not like it's a bit unusual, and that's why I like it. But yeah, the flexibility that having the vertex painting gives us, on top of decals, stamp decals placement, mesh decals, as it is explained by the work of this artist, visible in the previous video, it's just fantastic. So this will conclude our exploration of the materials of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Order of Giants. There is more work on this board, more detailed textures from the last artist. There is, of course, this amazing masterclass of techniques, which is available in another video on the channel. And there is another example of modular building kits. But I leave that for you to explore. I will make the board available very soon. And I will see you next time for other breakdowns, tutorials, and exploration of professional game art. See you soon. Shout out to the members of the channel, and you are all welcome to join. Additional perks will be added very soon.